AyoGG, welcome to a brand new episode of the AyoGG podcast in the Queendom Season 2 edition. Today for episode number 6 with the beautiful title, Oh, This Is What I Wanted to Do the Most. And the person I want to do this the most with is right here with me in the call. Hello, Pain.
That's me. Hi.
Thank you. Okay, now guys, today we are going to discuss together episode 6 of Queendom Season 2. But before we start, sorry for the delay of the episode of last week. Now I have my entire setup back and running, and now we should be able to release everything as you are all used to, at least if my PC doesn't decide again to break down suddenly, but let's hope for the best. Okay, guys, what happened in today's episode? Today's episode can basically be split into two sections. The first section is still the workshop. All our girls have been to get into their unit groups, and the second part of the show was then the first part of the what was the exact position unit performances exactly for in this case the vocal performances, but more to that in the second part of the podcast. How did the episode start? Well, basically, as always, we got a little flashback to episode number 1, but as always, we will skip that because you have I just assume that you have listened to the last podcast, so you know everything there is to know about the last episode, so we don't have to do that again. So what was the first new thing? It was the Queen's hidden hierarchy that was discussed in the episode. What is the Queen's hidden hierarchy? Well, it is basically them discussing who is actually the most senior member of the show. And because most people would probably assume, well, of course it's Hyolin, she's the most senior participant in the show, but turns out, no, she's only on position number 4, because on position number 3, we have Yeso, Kepler's Yeso. This is, by the way, something we have talked about already quite a few times, I think, in the early episodes of this podcast. Because Yeso had her debut in 2010 as a child actress. In 2007, we had our number 2, Unha. Big surprise, surprise. Has had her debut in 2007 with also as a child actress, and another big surprise, also as a child actress in 2006, Kepler's Dion. So just in case you were wondering who is the most senior person in Queendom, now you know. Dion is even more senior than Taeyeon is. Interesting. Now,
very interesting.
After that, do you want to add something to this?
Overall, it's was a pretty smart section in my opinion. I mean, we already talked about yes, as you said. I think just sometimes we are talking about that idols are going to be doing many actor jobs, but I guess it's the other way. They are starting with roundabout 4 or 6 with actor and actresses as actresses, and then going to the idol life.
I feel like this is the most natural way of evolving in the Korean entertainment industry. Acting, idling, back to acting.
Exactly.
So yeah, when you're speaking, there is something like really high pitched in the background.
Okay, I'm going to check it.
Okay. Then, next thing that we saw was the Queen's Pick. And the Queen's Pick is basically nothing else than all the contestants voting for certain categories. And we got a lot of voting by the participants in this episode. We got, first up, 2 different positions. the girls voted for. The first one is Visual Queen. So basically the most breathtaking beauties of all of the participants. And there we had the ranking. Number 3, Shouting of Kepler. Number 2, Heechin from LOONA. And Solar, number 1 of WJSN. Really interesting ranking. And the second ranking was the recruitment team ranking. And this may sound a bit, what exactly is that? Well, it's basically just who do you want to like recruit into your team? If you could choose someone, who would you get into your team? And interesting here is that the second place is actually shared by 2 members of Kepler. First Hikaru and second Chaehyun. And, well, the number 1 position, it's not really a big surprise. Let's face it, guys. Hyolin is number 1. And the more interesting thing, actually, about this pick is that Hyolin got asked, and who did you vote for? And she said she voted for an entire team, and that is BBG. So what I can say is, Hyolin, amazing like taste that you have there. But yeah, that was basically it about the Queen's Pick episode that we had there. Do you have something to add to this?
No, and I hope my sound is fixed.
Yeah, it sounded better.
Okay.
Alright, next up we had the dance training, because in the last episode, I mean, we already saw the practices, or not practice, but like the first encounters and the team buildings of the vocal groups. And now it was time for us to check out how the dance units got together and how they started to practice together. And first, the first group we saw was Cabbage. I just let this name resonate a bit through the internet. Cabbage is, of course, Kepler and BBG as one unit. And what I can instantly say is I really don't like the name. I'm really sorry, but this name is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Cabbage. But this may be something that like got born out of the pure awkwardness that was the meeting of the, if I'm not mistaken, 5 girls. Because if you remember, they were sitting together at the poolside. This amazing scenery, by the way, still love it. But no one really knew what to say to each other. So they tried to jump as fast as possible into the to-do list. And there, one of the points was, of course, making their group name. Well, it is Cabbage now. It is the way it is. We have to go with it. And afterwards, we instantly jumped into the dance practices of the girls. They were in the infamous staircase dance studio of Queendom. Whatever this is, I still don't understand it. But they trained together, and the interesting thing was that the training went pretty damn well. Like, there was nothing, no one really looked like she had much problems. Maybe Omji sometimes was a bit confused about the moves, but overall, it was a pretty smooth dance practice, except one major, I don't want to say accident, but I want to say attack by one of the Kepler members. Dion kicked with a spinning roundhouse kick, Chinbi on her arm. I instantly jumped up and got ready to fly to Korea. But no, it was a cute little accident, and doesn't even look like it hurt. So, but yeah, this just underlines basically my big problems I have with this stupid ass staircase dance studio thing. There is just not enough space, not even for 5 girls. Like, god damn it, Mnet. And there was only one thing that we got criticized by the trainer who stepped in for the actual trainer that this group will have, Honeybee from Street Woman Fighter, because she said that the movements of the girls were too feminine. They need to be more like hip-hop-ish. And if they actually succeeded in doing this, maybe we will talk about later. Next group we saw was group EXIT, consisting out of WJSN and Hyolin. And here we had, let's say, an interesting scene. Because while they were talking about, okay, what could we do? What could we, how could we basically, what could our name be? And what could our chant be? After they decided on that, Hyolin had to leave because she had to meet up with the vocal team. And maybe you guys remember in the last episode, we wondered why the hell she was dragging along with her this big ass pink bag the whole freaking time wherever she went. And well, it was answered in that moment, because when she left, she suddenly opened the bag, and what did we see? A body pillow with Hyolin on it.
That was such an attack. Like,
I expected a lot, but I did not expect this. Like, absolutely not. I was completely caught off guard there. And I don't know. Not even I would have the confidence to carry around a freaking body pillow of myself. I don't know. How about you?
no. Like, I don't know if she kind of planned this in advance, because I mean, she's alone and she wanted to replace herself, kind of, in that case, if you know what I mean, like as she did with saying, okay, here, take the pillow with my body on it. I need to go to the vocal stuff, and maybe it was planned.
I mean, most certainly. I mean, I hope it was planned, because it would be even stranger if she wouldn't have planned it and she's just casually carrying around a body pillow of herself the whole day.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not so much familiar with the intentions of Hyolin. Maybe there's a much bigger meaning behind it.
Hyolin, if you want to clear this up, you're invited to the podcast here right now. Just let us know and you're in. But no, seriously, this was just so surreal for me, this moment when she suddenly got out this pillow. And I would really like to know, guys, do you see it the same way, or is it just strange to us? I would like maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just us. I would really be interested in knowing if you were just like, yeah, okay, she did just a joke. But for me, I was just, what the hell? Just what kind of movie did I fall into right now? But okay.
It was so surprising as well, because, I don't know, it were like in 3 seconds, she was like, okay, then take care of it, and was just throwing it, and I was like, lol.
The way she did it, like, it is the most natural thing you could do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I mean, it was funny, but
yeah,
I'm still thinking about this. I'm really, it does not leave my head. Okay, but next up, it was time for them to actually practice together, because after Hyolin was finished with the vocal team, she got back to WJSN. To Unso and who else is in the dance unit with Unso and, oh, god damn it. Do you know it right now? Okay, based on how quiet you are, I think you don't. I got our back. I got our back. Wait a second. I'm almost there. Yodom, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I will be better in the future. I will be. I promise. Okay, so Unso and Yodom were in the dance practice studio, and Hyolin, got back to them, and they started to train together. And their dance trainer is Street Woman Fighters La Chica, the dance team La Chica. And also they're practice went pretty damn smooth. There was basically nothing really to complain about. The only thing they pointed out was for Unso that in one of her solo parts, she looked more like a jokester than she should look. That she should look a bit scarier, but that was basically about it. And what I really liked about EXIT and Cabbage, about the two groups, is that the dance practices had a pretty happy and feel good and overall just good vibes. They were, at least that's only what we saw. We did not see them being like down or sad or super stressed. No, it looked like they had fun the whole time through the short practice processes. And the last group that we are going to check out their little dance practice for is the Envious Queens. Envious Queens is a combination of LOONA and Brave Girls. And here we had them first again sitting together talking about group names and stuff. But the focus here was more on them talking about the song that they're going to perform. Because if you remember, LOONA was pushed out of the songs they've chosen 2 times. So Envious was actually the song they wanted to perform the least. And well, now they're in there. And what was a bit strange is they rewatched the song together, like the performance, and suddenly, out of nowhere, they all were like, you know, now I kind of like the song. Now I kind of love it. That was a bit, I mean, I get that you're trying to tell it to yourself, but that change of opinion came a bit fast for me. After that, it was time to actually get into the dance practice. They entered the staircase dance practice room, and along with them, their trainer, also from Street Roman Fighter, Monica. And Monica, let's just say, she gives off a really different vibe than the other trainers. The training was really intense. It looked super painful, like the stretching alone. I could feel each and every muscle in my body just from watching what they were doing there. And overall, it all felt much more like a boot camp than like a dance training session. And another thing that adds to this more like serious and intense atmosphere was that Olivia Ye got criticized quite a lot for her like morality, like for how she acted, because Monica said that she can clearly see in her eyes that she's not like 100% into the game, and that this is something she does not accept. So basically we got the good old produce intensity in this dance practice session. So that was a bit sad for me, because at the end we even saw like tears from, I think it was Yves and Heechin. And I don't know, I just don't like this way of practicing. I mean, of course, at the end, then LOONA kind of said yes, and then it like we saw her passion, like the passion of Monica, and that she wants to push us to our best and stuff like this. But in my opinion, you can push people to the best without making them feel terrible. So, especially when I look at the other groups, how the practice went there. So, yeah, I was not really happy with the Envious dance practice performance, blah. What do you think about it?
Yeah, pretty much in the same boat as you. But I just think that's about there are 2 kind of trainers, and that are the one like as Monica, and the other ones it's a bit like I can understand that both of these kinds exist somehow, and I guess it's okay to have a trainer like Monica, because I don't know, sometimes they're even like people who are more likely to train us like this. But I guess for that, I don't know. Like in that place, I don't know if she was the right person. Cause I don't know. It felt like that, especially like LOONA didn't really need it that hard. So, but you know.
The problem I have with it is that maybe you need something like this, like really for people who don't like get their asses up and stuff like this, you know. But I mean, we're talking here about not just LOONA, but in general, like full-fledged idols. Okay,
Yeah.
In such a competitive show, they will give their best in the end, even if Olivia Hale now in this. And I mean, these practice sessions aren't even long. I mean, we heard that some of them only had these sessions for like 20 minutes before they got out for the barbecue and stuff. So this wasn't even like the real training that will prepare them for the actual performances. This was just a little like get to know each other and first let's see how this works out and let's get into it for the first time. And for that, in my opinion, this kind of training is just completely unnecessary and this. Yeah, and just if I just look at the other teams, how much fun they have had, I feel sorry for the girls who were in the envious Queen group. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Next up, it was time for the interim dance performances, because just like the vocal performances, we got also little snippets of all the dancers, and we started with the group EXIT. So Unso, Yodom, and Hyolin together. And the song Kaboom. What did you think of their little dance session?
I think it was pretty cool to see a little snippet of it. Yeah, you could basically see that there was more like fun created. We have to say it, created by Unso. It was that and Yolom and Hyolin were a bit more serious about it still with the moves, but I don't know, the chemistry in my opinion was pretty cool in that performance, and you kind of could see a little snippet to which direction this performance will go. I liked it.
Yeah. Unso, in case you didn't see it, Unso, yeah, basically she forgot the choreo. And she was quite flustered at the beginning, while the other twos were continuing to dance. And then Unso was like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just put on the show. And then she started to freestyle a bit. And yeah, just to entertain the viewers like us and the girls that were there in the audience. So I really liked it because, as I said, this as I mentioned before, this is not the place for them to be completely serious and like show us exactly what we're going to see in the actual performance next week. This was just for them to just have a bit of fun for once, you know, and Unso delivered exactly that. Next up was the Envious Queen team with Unji of Brave Girls and wait a second. Almost got it. Eve, Heechin, Olivia He, and Choedi. Alright. And they performed the song Envious. What do you think?
In my opinion, that was the most appealing to me for the for the section they did. Whatever, I just lost the
Interim dance performances.
Interim dance performances, guys. It's so easy, of course. Thanks. Yeah, I guess that's what was the most appealing to me. Basically, I thought from the beginning that I could kind of imagine some of LOONA there. Like, I'm partly super happy to see, as example, Heechin there, because I think Heechin is very good for this kind of dance. And yeah, I just think this is going to be a super interesting performance. Like we kind of get the genre, but I don't know. I don't know which or what the final performance will really look like at the end, because we got a little, yeah, it's about I don't know, we have the kind of cat theme in it, but somehow I don't know. I'm still super questioning what this is going to be, but somehow it just looked very appealing to me.
Yeah, it was definitely from the interim dance performances the best one because it was the most like seriously executed, which yeah is just in my opinion the logical continuation of the practice they went through before. They did not dare to make fun there during this performance, which is a bit sad. But yeah, so we got a pretty good glimpse of what we are going to get at the actual performance. It looked amazing, and I'm super looking forward to this performance. That's for sure. Last group that we saw for the interim dance performances was Cabbage with BBG's Chinbi and Omji and Kepler's Hikaru shouting. Oh my god, Hikaru shouting and Dion. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I always need to jump back to the episode 5 script to see who is in which group. I have so many tabs open here right now. Okay. Yeah, what do you think of a Cabbage?
It's a wonderful ingredient. So okay, I know what you mean. No, like
Cabbages! Avatar fans will know.
Of course. I really like this as well, in at least in the theme of how much I can like it, because I don't really get with the song 100%. It's kind of so slightly distracting me a bit, but I don't think that when we will watch it on a grand performance, that I don't know. I don't think this will have such a huge impact. Cause I don't know.
Don't worry, the twerking will have the impact.
Oh, please no. And yeah, overall, they as well gave a super cool little snippet how this will be like such what for a performance it will be. But somehow it's the most it's the performance I could have imagined the most how it would look like. I mean, like, of course we saw in the teaser video when the choreo got shown to them, some parts, like as example the twerking, and yeah, even sound wise, I guess they're, I don't know, it's just you can 100% imagine in your head how this performance will kind of look like. And so there was still nothing really surprising there. But in my opinion, they, from what we have seen, it wasn't that much, but from what we have seen, I guess I really liked how they executed it. I mean, there was such a main focus on Hikaru.
Yeah,
So,
and that is something I really want to say. This is the reason why I am like most disappointed with this performance. Not because of the girls, but because in my opinion, I can judge anything about this performance because I didn't see shit. I saw 90% Hikaru close-ups, which is basically, I love Hikaru, but if I only see her the whole time with a shaky camera, I simply I don't know what the performance actually looks like. I mean, I need to see all the members at times. Sometimes we jumped a bit to Dion, but it was so disappointing the way they distributed the screen time. There we got once for like 2 seconds, short close up to Chinbi. Then we jumped to Shouting's twerking. And yeah, that was basically it what we got. And this is highly disappointing for me because I'm looking forward to this performance so hard for obvious reasons. And yeah, I couldn't see shit there. So I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. What was cool is in one of the many close-ups of Hikaru we saw in the background while they were twerking that Omji was like, nope. Omji was not having it. When the others were twerking, Omji was just standing there like, oh, no. Not gonna do that here, guys. So, yeah, I'm really curious how this is going to turn out in the actual performance. I really hope that the screen time will be better distributed than looking at you, Mnet. So, after this, it was time for the interim assessment results. So, basically, the girls all voted for one of the vocal teams and one of the dance teams who they're looking forward to the most, and the winning team would be able to decide the order of the position unit performances. For the vocal group, I mean, it's kind of getting boring, guys, I know. But the winning group was group 33 with Hyolin and Minyoung. Yeah. That's all I can say to it. And the winner for the dance unit was the Envious Queens with Yves, Heechin, Olivia, Hye, Choeri, and Unji. And that was, I can't really say a surprise. Maybe the surprise is that it's not again Hyolin that got chosen as the winner. But if you're looking at it like really plainly, then it is actually quite obvious. Because as we said before, the Envious Queens were the ones who, were like executing the moves the best. Like they had trained the most, the hardest. And they just felt the most like one unit already. So they, in my opinion, definitely deserve to win there. And the orders they decided on is for the dance unit, the first performance will be by Cabbage, the next one, the second one by EXIT, and the last one by the Envious Queens. And for the vocals, the first group will be Sun and Moon, which is LOONA and WJSN. The second performance will be Galaxy Embracing the Universe, which is BBG and WJSN. And the last one will be group 33, Hyolin and Minyoung of Brave Girls. And with that, the little workshop the girls had ended. And we jumped into the main event of today's episode. And that was the actual position unit performances for the dancers. For the vocals, I mean, today only. Dancers next week. Dancers next week, guys. To give you some context, what does all of this even mean? Like, what is there to earn? The first place of each of the unit groups will win 2,500 points. The second place will win 1,500, and the last one will get 500 points. And then the third round winner, like overall winner, will be decided by the position unit performances points and the points they will get for the fantastic Queendom performances, which are the like fan chosen song performances that we will get in the future. Okay, that's that. And now it is time to actually get into the performances. Number one was Sun and Moon, and they performed the song Don't Go by EXO. As always, before the actual performance started, we jumped into their preparations, or in this case, mainly their like leisure time that they spent together. And I can already say I was a huge fan of this. So, what did we see? We saw Kim Lip and Chu driving to a place to that point unknown to us, and Kimlip was the one driving, and Chu was, yeah, she was scared. I think it's pretty safe to say Chu was pretty damn scared based on how she was sitting in the seat, like grabbing onto her seat belt. It was adorable, but they managed to arrive at a location which was nowhere else than the school of Kepler's Jungen. They picked her up from school. She ran towards them in her school uniform, which was so adorable. And they met up with the rest of the Sun and Moon team at a butterfly garden that is nearby Jongen's school. And this was super cool. Like, there were gorgeous flowers all around them and butterflies flying through the air. Only downside, it looks like basically the entire group is scared of butterflies. So they screamed the whole freaking time as soon as a butterfly dared to move its wings. But still, it looked like they had a lot of fun. They took pictures together. They, like, cuddled with each other when they tried to escape from the butterflies. And this is really Mnet. This is the content I want. You know, like when you're putting the girls together, this is the content I want. The workshop, it was a good attempt, but what I want is not them sitting on chairs for like 3 hours and voting for shit no one cares about, like this beauty stuff. I want them to just have leisure time and spend time together. Like this short snippet, like 5 to 10 minutes that we got there of them having fun together, was, in my opinion, more enjoyable than the entire first 1.5 hour of this episode. So, Mnet, maybe for the next season, okay? After that, it was time to really get into, to get a bit more serious. They were sitting on the outside on a chair with beautiful background, and were talking about what they should do, what they should focus on, and at the end they came to the conclusion, basically the same one that we have come to the last week too. Their biggest strength is their number of members, and due to the number of members, the harmony that they can create in their performance. Now, of course, my question is, did they manage to create this harmony that they wanted to create so badly?
They 100% it. Like, if you want, or if someone asked me, what did you take the most out of the performance, it's ones white dresses. That's a cool idea. Just simple, but I really love it. And yeah, the harmonization. They have put a lot of focus on it. Was super cool. Like, they executed it very very well in my opinion. I mean, overall, I really love the song as well. Like, they just covered it in their really own style, I have to say. Like, once again, gives me such a different vibe from the original. And yeah, overall, I'm super satisfied with it. I think the only thing where I'm just a little bit like, if I compare it with the other stages, I think standing just on the stairs, I mean, it were fake stairs, definitely. Just putting some boxes there. I guess it was a bit, yeah, like, if I compared with other so like, I don't really have a problem with it, but if I compared with other performances, and on the other two performances, they even used the stage pretty well, in my opinion. I think, yeah, just staying there is something where I if I compare it, get a little minus point there, but it's not something huge. It's just if I look at it, what could have been better? Maybe they could have done a bit more, maybe with some spot combinations and stuff like this, or something like this. But overall, I really love the song, and Spotify worthy song. Spotify approved.
Definitely. It was by far the most static performance that we got here, but this, for me, this is absolutely nothing I would deduct points for, because simple reason, it's a vocal battle. I don't care about, and I really mean that, anything besides the vocals here. And so basically, I don't even need the video here. I just close my eyes, and this is what I'm judging. At least, in my opinion, is that it should be like this. And what I got there was exactly what I expected. I got beautiful harmonies. I got voices that blend into each other perfectly. Like, they really felt like a legit girl group, basically, that was standing there, that maybe just had their debut, like newly formed. They're nervous standing on the stairs. I absolutely loved every second of it. The only thing that I would maybe criticize, and there I would compare to the other performances, is that at times I could have used a bit more power, because overall their voices were really soft. Like, there was no one who really put a bit of pressure into their way of singing. And I don't mean like Hyolin pressure there. Absolutely not. That wouldn't have matched with anything of this performance. I mean, just to give some like highlight points to accentuate certain parts of the song more. The way they sang it, it was beautiful to listen to, but I can't really say that I have a highlight or highlights in the song. It was just a song from beginning to the end. I enjoy listening to it, and I will listen to it a lot more times, because it is really soothing on your ear, but I was missing the certain, something. A bit of spice in between. That's what I was missing. And one more thing, Youngun, I don't believe your tear. I don't believe it. That was rolling down your cheek way too perfectly. No freaking way. That's all I have for that performance. Do you want to add something?
Nah, I mean, of course, we could do a little discussion about some like how you are rating for the performance and how I do, but I guess it's just different, and it's for many people, I guess. So we don't need to get deeper in that, I guess.
Then, next up, I'm skipping a performance. This will be the last thing, guys. As always, you already expected it. I know you did. Next up, we're talking about the performance of the group 33, and they performed To My Youth by Ball 4. First thing I want to say, I adore the original. Like, To My Youth, outstandingly beautiful song, and I was really hyped when I heard that they would perform the song. Problem was something that we learned pretty damn fast when we saw the prequel to their actual training. Minyoung's voice has been in a really, really bad condition. Overall, her condition has been really bad due to the aftermath of her COVID infection. She had to like cough the whole time, and had dry throat, and so on and so on. And of course, this also led to her having a lot of problems with believing in herself, with her confidence. Because, I mean, it's quite understandable. If you're coughing the whole freaking time, and the one thing that you need right now is your voice, this is really a disgusting situation. But something that I really, really liked from Hyolin there, something I want to really praise her for, is a sentence she said, because she said, "Don't feel pressured to make mistakes." And this is really something I like. This is something I have said a lot of times already in this podcast and in previous ones. If you make a mistake, yes, so what? Just continue. You're human, you're allowed to make mistakes, and no one will like judge you just because you're doing it. Like, for example, Yunso in the interim performances. Yeah, she did mistake, and so what? She just made the best out of it. So just go with the flow. When you're making a mistake, yeah, well, next time it's gonna be better. And I really liked that Hyolin said that to her again, to like build her up and to make her feel better. They also discussed how they should like approach the song to my youth, and they all they both decided that it would be better for both of them if they would slow down the song a bit, because they said it is too fast for them personally, and on top of that, if you can make it slower, you can like focus more on the emotion, on maybe kind of like an emotional storytelling. And after they discussed this, it was of course time to spend a bit quality time together and also a bit of emotional time, because they met up for a little mukbang session. They drank beer and soju, and Minyoung even cooked for the two of them. And they talked about how it is being a leader and how difficult it is to bear like all the to bear all this, to have this burden of being a leader, to having to be a role model for the other members, and that due to that they both don't really know how to, or never really learned how to express their emotions or share their concerns with their other members, because they felt like, I need to be strong so they can ease their minds. And I really like that they shared these thoughts with each other and gave kind of encourage to each other. And then they also decided, last but not least, on a little, I'd say, gimmick for the performance, especially for the video playing in the background, because they decided on writing down the lyrics themselves, and then they basically put these self-written lyrics from the two of them in the video in the background to give it an even more emotional and more personal note. Now my question, of course, did that help? Did it make the performance better and maybe even more emotional?
Oh, that transitions.
It's so hard.
I can imagine. Okay, so where do I start? Like, let's start with just the fact that I really, really enjoyed this performance to the heaven. Like, that there is much I can talk about in the case of what the performance gave me. Like, to start with the fact why, or this performance is something like why I think personally that bringing a bit more just than a vocal, like just to rank the vocals. I mean, for me, it's still all of this is a performance-based show. Like, Queendom is for me a performance-based show. There are people staying there, and they want maybe just not want to hear something, they want to see something, or they want to get a certain feeling.
Then don't go to the vocal performance.
I mean, like, you don't have to. I don't know. I like they are there, and you can have a vocal performance, but it's still performance, like in its name. So like, they are still doing a performance.
Yeah, for showcasing the vocals. For the dance, you're showcasing the dance, and for regular idol performance, you're showcasing both.
Of course, but you just don't need to limit yourself to one of these. Like,
Of course you don't. I don't say that you shouldn't include something like this. I only say that this shouldn't be a criteria to determine if a vocal performance was good or not. If you can like include a good performance like we have here with switching positions and stuff like that, you can add it, and yes, it can add impact to the performance itself. But if it is about judging the vocals, which is the goal of a vocal performance, then this should be excluded in that part. It can still be for you personally if you say the performance overall. Yes, there I like this more because they also added these aspects. But for the vocal part, the vocal should be the only part you were really paying attention to.
I mean, of course, this is the most, or the part where I look the most at, but still, so like as example for this performance, I guess this performance really made such an impact, not just for the vocals. I mean, like I just guess the performance overall, and this kind of storytelling theme. These are aspects of the performance that are supporting the song and supporting the vocals, and give more, or a more heavy feeling, like at least for, or could give it, like if you, I mean, at the end, it depends on who's watching it and who kind of can get the feeling. Of course, that's just personal opinions over and over again. But bringing thoughts into it, like if I watch a, a performance, I really love to see something that's supporting the vocals, if possible. So, and or for that performance, they even got a step further. I would say, like, I don't know, they really created something, yeah, like a with a storytelling aspect, a little performance, that's really supported by expression singing. Like, I mean, especially Hyolin, since Good Girl, since she did this expression dance performance, uh, Seven Lives, if I don't know, I guess the name of the song was something like that. She said like she haven't really done it before, and she wanted to do it like once in her life, or she ever wanted to do it, but somehow she never could really get to do this. Um, and there you could really see that she, yeah, really enjoyed going into this theme. And this performance here is something that's going kinda in the same boat. Like, she really loved to um support her singing with one's expression singing, and just the expression herself, like she's doing. And it's giving a vibe I really love. I mean, they haven't really used much on the stage, but having these two spots, one for Hyolin and one for Minyoung, okay, with the little light, like the moonlight or something that's falling down. Um, I guess for Hyolyn it was kind of moonlight, or should be a moonlight, and I can imagine for Minion it should be something like a lantern light or something like that.
Probably the same moon from her So What performance.
Oh my goodness, the story is continuing.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, Jesus. I really haven't thought about it, but that could be. And yeah, so I guess that was something that really got me. Like, I really, it's insane how much I got into this performance. Focusing on the vocals, because I'm focusing on what she's singing, but how she's doing it, and with the emotion she's doing it, and with the expression she's doing this, it was amazing. amazing, appealing, like literally. And I would say she really, really, really trained herself doing this, or did this the last 2 years maybe very, very often, because I have the feeling like she really, really loves to do it like this. And in my opinion, she nails this. And I really got drawn in. Like, it was a storytelling aspect, and I was like listening the whole time. It's not that I 100% understood everything, but if I just got some few words out of it, and when it's about like the parts from the mother or the father and stuff like that, and you can kind of get into this. I just really loved to listen to that. And on the same time, I was really, really drawn into the performance. And it was interesting as well. Like, not what I don't know if interesting is the right word. It was nice to see in the show a more lower pitch singing for Hyolin and Minyoung. Like, normally they are belting out everything. For that performance, they just really did at the end for the finale, and for the parts for everything before the finale, it was like very, very emotional, and very, very nice, appealing singing. And I really, really loved to see this. I think they overall harmonized pretty well together, as I kind of thought from the Interim vocal performance. That I really, where I really got the feeling that they matched pretty well, and I even got a feeling in the performance as well. I was super satisfied, and I have to say props to that performance. I really loved it, and I would have loved to see that live. I just want this feeling to have this feeling live. Or I even got this kind of drawn in from the screen, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I'll make it short.
Okay.
Overall, when they were singing separately, I enjoyed the performance. I really liked how each of them were like interpreting the song for themselves. I really liked how they played with their voice with the song for themselves. But a problem I have is basically every time when we're switching from one of them to the other, because I did not feel like the voices matched that well. Reason may be that we have seen the other performances right before, where this was just done to such perfection, the switching from one singer to the other, where you're like, okay, this voice is matching with this voice so insanely well. I did not have this feeling here, and especially this bothered me when they started to harmonize, because I did not feel a harmony there like that much. It was much better than in the interim performance, but it was not to an extent where I can say I was really satisfied with what I was hearing there. So that was a bit sad. And at the end, another problem for me is that for the other two performances, I have this feeling like, okay, I can really listen to the Queendom version of the song, and be completely 100% satisfied with it compared to the original. Not that I dislike the original, but I can listen to the original and I can listen to the Queendom version, and both versions are really great. One is a substitute for the other. Here, I cannot say that. Here, I cannot say that Bol4's version, that this is a substitute for me for the Bol4 version. This is just... Yeah, I can listen to it, but if I... And here is now the thing. I do agree that the whole performance they have produced here with the writings in the background and the lighting and the position switches and stuff and the walking towards each other. This adds impact to the performance. Of course it does. It makes everything more emotional, and it also makes the song sound better. But if I listen to the song without the video, I'm really not satisfied with it. And this is what I mean with all of this. Like, for vocal performance, you should not get too distracted by everything that you see around there, because you should focus on what's important, the vocals. And at least for me, I'm probably once again really alone with that opinion. It did not click with me at all once they were switching from one to the other. After a few seconds, I was cool again when I was grooving into the voice of Minyoung or Hyolin. But as soon as they got together, or if I got a switch, then I was like, no, this is not, it's not clicking right now. And yeah, that was a bit sad for me. And next up, last but not least, except if you want to add something to
that. No. The only thing is a little. I don't know how this is with you. For me, it's like I mean, you definitely have this for certain performances and songs, but something that really helps as well if you see something not really just at the first time, but if you see a performance that you really liked, and you hear the song, it's still different when you just heard the song from a file over and over again. Just like a performance can give for the eternity something to the song, if you know what I mean.
And this is exactly what I mean. When I'm checking out a vocal performance, I want to judge the vocals that I'm getting delivered, and a performance itself can of course change how I remember the song, and then when I listen to it again, how I imagine it or how I like build it for myself in my brain. But this should not be a criteria for me personally when I judge a vocal performance. The vocals themselves. This is for me a vocal performance. So this is why I try to exclude all of these when I am thinking about this. But
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And last but not least, it is time for Galaxy embracing the universe with Hold My Hand, originally by IU. How did it start with those three? Well, we saw the two WJSN girls, Yeonjung and Subin, sitting on the roof of the Starship building. And you have to imagine, I mean, this came right after the Sun and Moon performance, okay? So in the Sun and Moon performance, we saw the girls in the butterfly garden, in this beautiful garden. The girls surrounded by the butterflies. It was basically, it was like a scene from a fairy tale. And then cut, we go on the rooftop on this, I'm sorry, but really shabby looking rooftop of Starship. It is small, it is like noisy, and the plants also look like they have seen better times.
Yeah, like this is I don't know if there was a staff member once in 2 years.
It was really strange. Like, I mean, in the end, it did not change the feeling of the meeting of the three of them. Like, it was still a lovely meeting, but the first second when we saw this rooftop, I was actually similar perplexed, like when Hyolin dropped her body pillow. It was such a contrast from what I expected was going to happen right now. But yeah, so Yeonjung and Sola were Subin were sitting on the rooftop waiting for Unha to arrive, and when she did, Unha instantly gave the two of them little friendship rings, which they also promised to wear together when they are performing Hold My Hand. And this was actually when it was first revealed that they would be performing Hold My Hand. Because for the other two groups, we already learned it in the last episode, but Galaxy Embracing the Universe had a tougher time to decide on which song they would actually like to perform. And holy shit, am I happy that they chose Hold My Hand, because outstanding song. Outstanding song. And they kind of pretended to be competing for the killing part and overall multiple parts of the song, but it wasn't really a competition. Like, they were sitting there talking to each other. Each of them was singing a bit, and then one of them was always instantly screaming, "Okay, you do it. You do this part." And "Okay, I'll do it." So it was insanely, like, smooth, the line distribution. There was no drama whatsoever. Like, not even Mnet could produce drama out of this. It was such a happy place on this ugly rooftop. And after that, it was time for them to actually record the song. So we got a little behind the scenes look of I think it was Starship, where they recorded it. They went into the booth, and Unha was the first one to enter the booth. And, well, what should I tell you? It was almost boringly perfect what happened there. Because Unha went in there, nailed it, and then the producer was like, "Okay, that's it. That was amazing." But Unha suddenly was like, "You know what? Nah, I think I can do it better." And she did it again and again and again and again and again and again, to that point that Yeonjung and Subin were like, "Please, please stop it. It was amazing. Don't record another version." Like, Unha really showed what a big perfectionist she is. Which was but was really, like, well received by the staff there. He was really happy when he saw how dedicated Unha was to perfectly deliver her parts. Next up was Yeonjung. And once again, guys, it was boringly amazing how awesome, fast she nailed her part. How powerful, perfectly she belted out her parts. That was basically it of Yeonjung. And then it was time for Subin. And here it was time for Mnet to finally get a bit of content, to get a bit of juice into this whole section, because we saw Subin struggling with the higher notes of the song. She tried to reach the notes, but her voice cracked, and she wasn't that confident in reaching these parts. But then we saw her, a little montage of her practicing and practicing and practicing. You know, we saw Subin getting built up, you know, to emerge like a phoenix from the flames to deliver an amazing, beautiful performance. And now my question, of course, for you is, did she do it? Did she manage to do this?
Once again, to the transitions. So, first, for the last performance, I said, it drove me to heaven. This one drove me through the universe into another galaxy. Like, wow, that performance is one of the best performances I've ever seen, in my opinion. I really loved it. So first, the theme, the setting of it, amazing. Yeah, like, even if I'm not rating the setting, I really loved it. Just the kind of Sakura theme with combined with overall flowers and stuff, amazing. I really love that they started with 3 different positions, like Yeonjung in the swing, in the flower swing. I mean, what the hell? How long does it need to create something like that? Holy shit!
It looked fancy as fuck. I have no clue,
Yes.
but it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the swing, seriously, straight out of heaven. This is how I would imagine something like this to look.
Yeah, I see that. I see that, to be honest. Yeah, Una was kinda in at a I don't know, just at a point with some trees and a fence. So maybe somewhere near of us. Not really. And
What I would give for that. But
and Subin, pretty nice, was just standing here, just right beside the crowd, like before someone, like
so close
literally
to crowd surfing. So close to crowd surfing.
exactly. And I really loved like Suwon was really praised for her professional with being professional with the long dress and stuff like that, but not just that. She was staying there and kind of interacting with the crowd when her part started, and I really loved it. Like, she was really confident, looking into the crowd. Overall, really confident delivery of all of from all of them. Like, they just knew that they were that they are going to slay it on such a different level. And yeah, I really love the concept, and of course the vocals. They really slayed it with that. And it's not just that they have like the three spots. No, right before the killing part, how everyone is calling it, they are going.
It sure as hell was.
True. They're going to the middle part of the stage, and meeting there with the three microphones. In a triangle format, and amazing. Like, this was as well so amazing. I mean, of course, the camera was pretty good doing it, because when you have the camera movements around the three girls, that's really giving something. But that looked so well, and overall, I mean, the outfits, the setting, I can't say it much more. Everything on that on the performance was like just perfect. And just one thing, like, Una got the killing part and whatever. But when we had in the beginning, like, they were talking about who's getting the killing part, and they were playing the original one, I was like, that's 100% sounds like a like a little verse for Una, like this soft parts are just made for her, like, as the same, like the high notes are just made for Yeonjung. It's just in my opinion, they just made it pretty fitting over the whole song. And I have to say, damn, I'm super impressed by Subin, because she showed nothing for her problem with the problems to go that high. Like, she really nailed it, and she sang, especially at the end, pretty much from the chorus. And I really loved this very powerful vocal by her, because I had trust in her, of course. She is one of the main vocals of WJSN, and she really killed it. I really loved it, and I want the second one of these three, to be honest. I want something more. Please give me more.
Yeah, the flower fairies. This is something I also said in my reaction, that this unit is too good to be a one-time thing. So whoever has, I mean, Big Planet made. Let's face it. They're buying half of K-pop at the moment, so maybe there is something they can do here for us. That I would really support that. I'm buying whatever you're letting these three produce together. That was really an outstanding performance. Yeonjong in the beginning alone on this seriously this heaven swing. This has a freaking heaven swing. She's sitting there, the angel that ascended from there. I mean, especially you have in the beginning this yellowish light that is shining on her, which is also like supporting this heavenly theme. So I would be really interested if this is something they really thought about. Yeah, this is a heaven swing, and we have an angel sitting right here. And then this cut to Unha. The first thing that popped into my mind there is this reminded me a lot of the song Blossom of Unha and Ravi.
Yeah, kind of.
From a few years back. There were familiar scenes where the two of them were standing in front of trees like this. Thus, I got like instant the maddest flashbacks to this time. Then, of course, the flowers that are braided into her long, gorgeous hair. Holy shit. And this is something I looked forward to so hard. This combination of Unha and Yeonjong. This follow-up of Unha's crystal clear, soft voice and Yeonjong's powerful, like really merciless almost voice. This is such an insane combination, and I was so pumped when I learned that my hopes for these two to get into a unit together would really become reality. So sick. And then Subin, a member I honestly don't really know much. The way she fitted in there, like it did not feel like, okay, it is Unha and Yeonjong and Subin. No, it was like she was a main character in this whole song. She delivered it absolutely perfectly. She blended in with those two absolutely amazingly, and I really like how her voice and Unha's really matched each other and gave this gorgeous contrast to Yeonjong's. And yeah, so the jealousy that I'm feeling when I see Subin standing next to them, to the crowd, is really insane. And also what you mentioned, the way she played with her dress is really impressive. Like the moment when she's standing there alone on stage and she feels, okay, there is the fan is starting to blow wind at me. The way she's throwing the lower part of her dress behind her so it is flowing in the wind was insane. Like, I don't know if she really rehearsed it like this or if she was in the moment and was like, okay, this is what I have to do now. No matter how it is, she absolutely nailed this part. It looked so cool. And yeah, like, and with the background, the video where the camera is flying over the grass field, when she's standing there in front of this with her dress waving in the wind, like really the fairy flying over the grass field, it was insane. And then of course, the Holy Trinity in the middle of the stage. Like, this is what a Triforce is supposed to look like. Holy shit. So amazing. Unha's killing part, then the build-up of Subin, and then, of course, the moment we all have been waiting for, Yeonjong belting out the high note like nobody else could. Holy shit. In my reaction, I lost my shit at this moment. So I can really just support you with all the praise. It was an outstandingly beautiful performance, and I'm going to. It is no surprise probably for all of you, but I'm still going to pump out the ranking here. This is so hard number one. You can't tell me otherwise. I don't care about everything else. This delivered so hard. And another thing that I really liked is at the end, after the Holy Trinity triangle, when they're all standing in one line, facing the crowd, and you see in the background the video of the probably cherry blossom trees in the background. This is the main reason why I said like fairies. At the very end, when they're finished with singing, you have Unha in the middle, and it looks like the cherry blossoms look like wings coming out of her back. If you really pay close attention, this is such a sick picture, and I have watched this or looked at this very frame more often than is like healthy for me, that I can promise you. But in my opinion, if you see it once, like these wings of Unha here, you can never unsee it. The flower fairy Unha in Hold My Hand, outstanding. All three, drop dead gorgeous, and not just their visuals, but their voices especially. I literally, my brain died after watching this performance, and it is dying while talking about it, just thinking about it over and over and over again. Outstanding performance.
Definitely.
Whew. So, that was all of the performances, and of course, as always, guys, let us know your opinions about all of the performance in the comments below. What was your favorite? What do you strongly disagree on with one of us? Probably me. Let me know in the comments below. And now, the show was basically over. We got, as always, the ending credits with Taeyeon gracing us, as always, in the background. And the cookie scene. Our favorite cookie scene at the end, always. And I really have to say, today's cookie scene was once again so good. Because it is about exactly the performance we just talked about. Galaxy embracing the universe. After the performance, they were standing there facing the crowd and asking them to press number 2 because that is their number. And then we got cut into the green room of Kepler, and Daeyeon instantly screamed out, okay, I will. And this moment of like instant realization of Daeyeon, what she just said, that she just said, okay, I will vote for you and not for my own team. This was such an amazing moment. I loved this. How she suddenly like, fuck, and got on the knees. I think it was in front of Jane, like, oh, sorry. This was really an adorable moment. What do you think?
Definitely. Like, I can definitely imagine, like relate there.
It's so understandable.
Yeah, it's 100% understandable. So, props to her true feelings that came out there.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Dan, we appreciate it.
And yeah, it was super cool.
And I mean, we love to hate on Mnet when they deserve it, but I also, at times, Mnet is also doing stuff right, and I want to point that out too, because these cookie scenes that we're getting at each and every episode, they're so good.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time, they are really amazing, and they just lead you out of this episode in such a beautiful and fun, humoristic way. So, mad props to Mnet for that.
Definitely.
Absolutely no props for Mnet, by the way. We're not ending on a good note for Mnet, guys. Never. Fashion with Taengoo, guys.
Exists.
It is finally back. It is finally back. But now, of course, now you're asking. But I mean, you got fashion with Taengoo now. Why do you complain to Mnet? Well, because Tae is once again looking drop dead freaking gorgeous. Mnet, this is not what we have been talking about. God freaking damn it.
No, like.
But maybe there is still something we can talk about. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I really overall love her outfit, and I think style-wise, just that's a personal note, of course. I guess that is one of my favorites of her. Like, uh, in the
Okay, this is fascinating.
in the
Continue.
in the original version of this corner, it was like we were thinking about, oh yeah, that might be the worst of all the suits we got, and this one or this time, I have to say, this is, cause it's the corner reversed, kinda. It feels like that. So we are
Yeah.
just going to reverse it, and I really, really, really love the style here. To quote, her chic style.
To quote Unna.
Yeah, I really, really loved it. Perfect. Like, I don't have something big to complain about her style. Just one thing. The necklace. I don't know. I'm not feeling this one, but uh, everything else I'm super. Even the earrings I'm super fine with personally. So I'm super, like, she is freaking gorgeous. She nailed visually this episode once again. Thanks. Thank you for that.
One thing that I didn't quite get, is this a 1 or a 2-piece outfit?
Should be one, right?
Yeah, this I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, there could theoretically be, like, it could be 2 pieces, but from what I have seen, I would also guess 1 piece.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
going for one piece. Like,
okay.
I'm pretty sure with like it's a one piece with a kind of leather layer or layer on the top more, like something like that.
Yeah, and the bottom is like, it is not a dress. I think it was like pants
Yeah,
dressish
exactly.
thing.
It's a
And
bread
this is
pants thing.
and this is something where I'll be completely honest, I don't really like that style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of this kind of clothing, but well, Taeyeon's still strangely rocking that hardcore. And yeah, also I can also agree with you on the necklace, like this pearl thing. Not my kind of jewelry, honestly.
Once
Also,
again.
what I can also see here in the picture I have,
Yeah.
she's holding a microphone here. It looks like she has also some kind of jewel stuff on her nails, which is also something I'm not a big fan of, honestly.
Mhm.
There's too much going on nails, guys. Let's just get back to the absolute basics, okay? Absolute basics.
Yeah.
Also the earrings. What I don't like about those is also this combination, like the star and the pearl in it. I'm not a fan of pearls. I guess that's it. I just don't
Yeah,
like pearls.
I think as well.
But what I'm absolutely digging is her smoky eyes makeup that she's
Yes,
rocking
her
here.
makeup.
That in combination with the rest of the black outfit is so drop dead gorgeous. And what I also love is that we see her tattoos. That Mnet is not trying to cover up Taeyeon's gorgeous tattoos.
Exactly. Like, this is really such. I don't know. I am super, 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 super fine with her outfits, and that's shit. Why am I so fine with that?
That's terrible. But you said this is your favorite outfit of Taeyeon.
Overall style. I have to say the makeup has to do like the mainly job to fit with the outfit, but this really chic and like the hair to the back for the performance for the show Queendom. I want to say Queendom because Blonde Taeyeon is another level, but for Queendom, I'm really really think here this is the most my most favorite.
My favorite is still the other black one. I don't know if it was the last one. This black, short, white. God damn it. Okay, let me start again. This short, black dress with the knee-high black boots. And on the side, we had those, like, veil thing stuff, skirt thing, which was only, like, on the sides. But that in combination with her blonde hair, I think that was until now my favorite, because I just go through my Taeyeon picks that I have here of my fashion with Taengoo picks.
Yeah, like,
and I see it here and I'm like, wow.
that's definitely my second most loved. I'm like it's hard to choose anyway, but I really, as I said, like the I guess the makeup did a really good job here.
Yeah, the smoky eyes is really hardcore. All right, guys. And with that, I'd say we are closing today's episode of the AyoGG podcast for episode 6 of Queendom Season 2. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode just as much as I hope both of us had recording it. Let us know your opinions in the comments below, and I'd say we will see you guys. You will hear us next week, as always, on Tuesday on this channel. Thank you for your attention and bye.
Bye.